Right, NBC has now hit a new low by releasing the president's tax returns, or a small portion of them, last night. But what we're seeing from the alt-left propaganda, destroy Donald Trump media, it's not new. Now that Donald Trump occupies the Oval Office, the opposition party press is going to new extremes and lows to try and take down his presidency, and they won't stop until he's out of office. Now, I've been saying since 2008 right here on this program, journalism is dead. Now it's in the ground, buried, flowers on top. And last night's political hit job by NBC is just the latest example in the media's long list of attacks against the president. Here's just a small sampling.
Here you have a deranged president, or a pathologically lying president, lying about the operations of the American government and lying about the previous president of the United States. That's enough to invoke the 25th Amendment. But Mike Pence and the cabinet are not there yet.
When he said today, America first, it was not just the racial, the Hitlerian background to it.
I understand why so many people voted for him. I understand where you were coming from. I understand why you liked him. But this man is lying to you.
Trump's critics, those who are worried about this president and this White House, saw a live special television event brought to you by narcissism, thin skin, chaos, and deeply personal grievances.
This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president, in part. And that's the part where the pain comes.
This is a really sad night. I'm just going to say it. This is a very sad night for the country. You can't polish this turd.
I don't know. Are you using the word lie or falsehood? What are you using?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you have to use the word. You have to call it what it is. It was interesting because I saw Sean Spicer on Fox News, and he said that you were rude. And I thought, if
the First Amendment does not require
when he called you fake news, what if you had called him a fake president?
Beyond awful. And when the alt-left propaganda media isn't doing what you just saw and attacking the integrity and mental health of the president, well, they're running wild with all kinds of bizarre conspiracy theories about the Trump campaign colluding with the Russians. Now, what the biased press refuses to tell you, there is no evidence whatsoever that shows any kind of collusion. Well, that didn't stop the leader of the alt-left propaganda media, Rachel Maddow herself, from going off the deep end last night, claiming that in 2005, a Russian oligarch knew that Donald Trump was going to be president. So he bought a property from him in Florida, and Trump made a huge profit, more than 2 times what he paid for it. And as I said last night, Maddow thinks that somehow maybe Russia knew in 2005 that Donald Trump would be elected president in 2016. Unfortunately, NBC News didn't think that was possible even on election night. That's pretty pathetic, and the media should know better, but they'd rather put their radical left-wing agenda than telling the truth to the American people. That's why they never vetted Obama. That's why they colluded with Hillary. Now, 2 journalists at Circa News, Sarah Carter, John Solomon, who will be here in just a minute, have already debunked this Russia story and conspiracy and the talking points. Now, last week they reported that the FBI has found no evidence of collusion between Trump and the Russians, just like James Clapper had said. And that's officials that are inside the agency. They are frustrated how it's now being represented by this media that is corrupt. Tonight, they have another bombshell story. Here's the headline, quote, Hillary Clinton supporter pushed Trump-Russia computer narrative investigated by FBI. Now, according to the report, computer scientist and Indiana University professor L. Jean Camp pushed a theory into the left-wing media that a computer server connected to Donald Trump was communicating with a Russian bank. Now, the FBI did, in fact, look into it. They found nothing to indicate collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Now, it's very important to note that L. Jean Camp has donated, shockingly, thousands of dollars to Hillary Clinton, including $2,200 to her 2016 presidential campaign. She's also donated over $10,000 to Democratic groups and candidates since 2004, including the radical group MoveOn.org. But it doesn't end there. Camp also has a series of social media posts where she advocated for Hillary Clinton. She pushed the Trump-Russia conspiracy connection and talked about joining the, quote, resistance. Circa News reached out to Camp for a comment on the story. She confirmed the donations and said her actions regarding the server were not politically motivated. Oh, that's shocking. But once again, the alt-left media, they didn't even bother to look into this. Here now.